Hey, hello. Hello. How are you all? Welcome to a late night live. Can you see me okay? The next late night live is on now. Right, wait a minute, need to get into proper positions and things. Right, we're in. Now we're in. Okay. We've got a good 5 viewers in here. A good 5 of you. Let's see. Okay. Okay. And welcome to the next Late Night Live. We are here. Oh, hello, Herman. Nice to see you. Reporting for duty. There's no duty here. It's just a fun live stream. But hello to you. Hello. Hello. Heather. Hello to you, my lovely Heather. Hello. I would never say hello without giving you a nice long hug always. A nice long protective hug, as you'd be quite good at it. You know, a nice long, strong protective hug always. And hello to Anthony and Hailey. Oh, thank you, Heather. No, I'd always give you a big, nice, long, strong hug. It's nothing better than receiving a big, nice, long hug from your friends, whether they're strong or not. No, but always a nice big hug to you, always, Heather. Oh. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you for your friendliness towards Herman, Heather, and Hailey. And thank you always. And thank you, Heather, for your kindly acknowledgement towards Heidi, Anthony, and Herman. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, yes, here we are. Another late night live. Thank you, Herman. Thank you for your friendliness towards all. Thank you. Thank you. Don't worry about the previous mistakes, Herman. We all make spelling mistakes. Ah, but there we are. Yes. Yes. Tomorrow we've got quite a special day because we got the birthday of an actor. Tomorrow. And yes. But more will be represented in the video if I get around to doing it. For the 25th of November 2024. You know, Jody, hello, Jody. We would never say hello without giving you a nice long hug always. And we would always protect you in whatever way we can, my lovely Jody. Howdy, Zev. Howdy. And always hugs to you. Nice long hugs always. Oh, yeah, boobs. Oh, Harriet, boobs. You're in. Hello, Harriet. It's always a pleasure seeing you on here. We would never say hello without giving you a big, nice, long, protective hug, as usual. And of course, cuddles. Yes, it's our dear Harriet. Always hugs and cuddles to our Harriet, and always our friendly acknowledgements towards our Harriet, too. Good to see me in my cot. Yes, this is the cot. Sapper, this is the cot. But how are you feeling for health? How are you feeling? I mean, I'm so sorry you had to cancel your live stream again, Sapper, because of your influenza ill health complications. Sapper's been ill recently, so let's all show our support towards Sapper and hoping he has a good, decent recovery. You're getting better, but not fully back to normal. This is what happens when we're ill. It can really take time to fully recover, you know, but at least you're healing, but albeit much more slowly than you'd anticipated. Oh, Pamela's here. Hello to you. Hello to our lovely Pamela, the wonderful, lovingly friendly mother everybody loves and adores, and also the wonderful cat owner of Miles and Penny, everybody loves and adores. Hello to you, Pamela. Yes, oh yes, we would never say hello without giving Pamela a big, nice, long hug, wouldn't we? And Imogen, hello to you. There's nothing better than receiving a nice long hug from a tall, strong, cuddly lady, isn't it? You know. Nothing better than receiving a nice long hug from a tall, strong, cuddly lady like that of our lovely Pamela. But no offence when saying this to Pamela, of course. Oh, have you got to walk the dog? Okay. Not to worry, Jodie. I hope the dog walk works out okay. Hope the dog walk works all right for you. Haven't spent this much time in bed with a bloke in years. Oh, God. Oh, goodness. Hello to you, Lisa. Hello, no worries. No worries for your lateness to the party. No worries. Thank you highly. Thank you for wishing Sapple well. I mean, I was ill about in March earlier this year with a chest infection. Fortunately, it was a very minor chest infection, but at one point I was very prone to having chest infections. And once I had a very bad influenza ordeal, like Sapper. I must have been about 16, I think, when I had the influenza disease. And after I went down with the bout of flu, it almost poleaxed me. It almost completely poleaxed me, the influenza, when I had it at about 16. And it did take me time to get fully healed back. He was in hospital a few days ago on a drip. Oh, no. Oh, Sapper, that's awful. At least you didn't stay, luckily. No, too much shit's going on in the hospitals now. Because they're just too overburdened with too many illnesses now. Because there's just so... Because there's just so many more now. All that. Hello to Thomas Gardiner. Hello to you. No, it's not nice to be in hospital, Heather. It's not nice to be in the hospital. You know, and especially if it's a mess like it is now, a hospital, particularly in the United Kingdom. You will be back in the fight again soon. Good courage there, Sapper. Good courage there. At least you'll be back in the fighting ring again. That's the main thing. Because obviously you're going to knock out the bad guys, aren't you? Back in the fighting ring and all that. No, but no. I mean, I was in hospital about 4 years ago for a fractured metatarsal in my left foot. Yes, too right, Heather, too right, yes. Real flu is awful. Imogen, I've had the flu before, and it is terrible. No, I mean, Imogen, I've suffered influenza before, and it almost poleaxed me when I had it. No, Heather, I totally agree with you. There's just, if anything, Heather, there's just far more illnesses now out there. Too many, to the point where it's completely not only overburdened, but almost killed hospitals. You know, because they're just so overburdened now in recent days, hospitals. And of course, strain on the staff, immensely worse than before. It's just gotten so much worse. I mean, who could have thought our hospitals would just be so overburdened in this day and age? Oh dear, your poor auntie. Your poor auntie, Pamela. But is she out now? I just hope the main thing is I hope she's out of the hospital now. No, it's gotten so much worse now. Things going on in the hospital. No, I mean, I mean, no, this is why I think this is probably one of the reasons why I'm so health aware of staying in good health, you know, because if I ended up ill on a repeated basis, I'd just end up in a very completely overburdened hospital. It's been 3.5 weeks since this. Oh gosh. There's swine flu. I think I knew a few people who had the swine flu. I remember it vividly. Swine flu. You couldn't even move your eyes, Imogen. Oh God. I couldn't even get out of bed for about 2 days when I had the flu. No, I was very ill, and I was very pale, and I actually still felt very weak for a great many weeks after I had the flu many years ago. No, after I had it, I was really feeling very, very weak after I had it. No, flu, it can really poleaxe you, flu, or any respiratory winter illness. No, it can really poleaxe you. No, this is true, Sapper. Yes, this is true. Hello, Sheddy. Hello. Ask for a shingle shot too. Yes, no, the hospitals, they're just completely overburdened now, Heather. No, Heather, they're just nothing but severely overburdened and strained hospitals. I mean, we would have thought things would get better in the hospitals, but they've clearly not. They've clearly not since that point. They've just, it's as overburdened as anything and just a rife, complete, utter mess now, the hospitals. No, but I remember your sepsis ordeal, Heather, yes. I totally remember your sepsis ordeal. I mean, no, that, I mean, it's lucky you survived. You know, you could have easily died. I mean, a young person with sepsis, Heather, could have easily died, but I'm so glad you pulled through and got over it. But obviously, it came at the cost of substantial, long lasting damage. I don't think our governments will repair healthcare, Heather. Heather, if anything, it's just, I've never liked saying this, but I've seen this for too long now. It's got to the point now where corruption is just nothing but painfully rife. So rife, they can't even fix up not only healthcare, education, infrastructure, anything that's vitally important to our country. Politics now, especially since when I first became aware of you, you know, since I first became aware of you, it's just gotten to the point where it's just more rife in corruption, you know. It's so rife in corruption. Totally agree. No, I know. I've never liked to say this, but I've seen it for too long now, Heather. I think all of us, before our very eyes, we've seen it for too long. No, I mean, I'm very, yes, totally right, Zeph. Governments do not fix a thing except for themselves. It's up to the, it's up to we, the people. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no, not yet, Sapper, but soon, soon. But one thing I'm going to need to do soon is get some post stamps for Christmas cards. You know, to get some Christmas cards sent to my family. That's something I'm thinking I need to get done soon. Don't we, the peoples, need to stand together? But we, there's just too much rife corruption now, Heather. There's just too much rife corruption now. You're doing diamond painting for Christmas. How lovely. Hello to you, Janet. Hello. Oh, you've started these. I'm going to get mine started. I think fairly soon I'll get mine started, something like that. I know, and not only, but Heather, to reference your point, a moment just now, earlier on, it's actually, it is, I agree with you totally. Not only is it very sad to see such rife corruption, especially since I first knew of you, but it's very sad to see that our health system is now around the world has got to the point to where it's got to now. But if any of you are on here, has any of you ever made your own Christmas cards before? I mean, if I may ask about making your own Christmas cards on your own terms, it's something I'd recommend. It's not that difficult to do, actually, to make your own paper Christmas cards, because I do that every Christmas. make my own Christmas cards. So it's something I would recommend. It's certainly something I would recommend. Hello, X. We salute you, X, and well done for your years of service when you served in the armed forces. We salute you, X, and it's wonderful seeing you, and thank you for your friendliness. You totally didn't have to do the contribution, but thank you. Thank you. Sometimes, Sapper, yes, sometimes I do. Your own thing, yes. One year when your son was younger, he put his little hand on the card and the Christmas tree out of it. It was so cute. Oh, gosh. Homemade Christmas cards are a treasure. I totally agree, Pamela. I totally agree. It's really not difficult to make your own Christmas card. All you need is a piece of paper, you fold it in half, and you do your Christmas drawings and your writings in it. That's all you do it. That's somehow you do it, Pamela, just to say. That's how one can make your own Christmas cards or birthday cards or anniversary cards and all that, you know. It's really not that difficult to do. It's really not. I mean, well, everyone's going to have an obvious different experience to me if they were to try something like this. But from my experience, to only speaking from my experience, I can't speak for yours or others' experiences, Pamela. It's really not hard to do. It's really not. Yes, that's true. No, but Harriet, you know, to tell you of things, Harriet, by Christmas time, you'll have your Christmas card and the money I owe you sent in it. Just to say, it'll be sent to you in time for Christmas, and then that's the debt paid off, isn't it? Yes, I agree. I agree, Zeph. I couldn't agree with you more on that. Couldn't agree with you more. I mean, who could have thought we would enter an area of potential dystopian disarray? Who could have thought that? I mean, really, who could have thought that? Terrible. Oh, Pamela, you didn't have to. But thank you. Thank you. You certainly didn't have to. But thank you. Want a card with a crown? It'll be done. Harriet, it will be done. I can assuredly tell you it will be done. Brass rubbings? Don't think so. Sapper, no, but I have played a musical instrument many years ago. I wouldn't play it now. No, but thank you, Pamela. You certainly didn't have to, but thank you. And thank you, Miles and Penny. Thank you. No, that will certainly not be forgotten, Zev. It will certainly completely not be forgotten, if above and beyond anything. I can paint, Sapper, yes. I can paint, actually, yes. I've tried painting flowers and I've painted a colouring in. I've painted it in my school days many times. I can actually paint, yes. It's just I have to be careful that the surface doesn't get messy, or not do it in a surface where we're not allowed to do it. But yes, I can paint. I can paint, Sapper. You know. Hello to Danette and Anthony. Hello to you both. Hello to you both. Wonderful couple, Danette and Anthony. And Thank you, Zeph. Thank you for your friendliness towards Danette and Anthony. Thank you. Thank you. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have done this series. It was after I saw them and doing their late night New York live, I thought, I want to give me a piece of that. And I've done it, and I've done it on an almost weekly basis. There are a couple of Crown. There are a couple of Crown on Amazon. Interesting. Okay. Crown. She wanted me to draw the Crown, actually, Pamela. Can I tell you of things? It was a Crown picture she wanted me to draw in the Christmas card. I don't think she meant a real physical crown. I think she meant a Crown picture, just to say, Pamela. But don't worry, we all make mistakes, don't worry. It was just an interesting impression you came under. But we all do it. We all do it. No worries, no worries. Thank you, Janet. Thank you for your friendliness towards Danette and Anthony. And of course, McMeow and Pamela. Hello, McMeow. Oh, thank you, Danette and Anthony. Thank you for your friendliness towards Harriet. Thank you. Thank you. Gates already added bonus. Thank you, Heather, for your friendliness towards Dinesh and Anthony. And thank you, Dinesh and Anthony, for your friendliness towards Heather. I've known Heather longer than I've known you, Dinesh and Anthony. And actually, Heather, who's on here, I think she's the one I've known longest out of all of you who are on here. Most of you I only just encountered in 2023, well, the latter part of 2023, and the early to the middle part of 2024. So so Heather on here, she's the longest I've known out of all of you on here. Dog walk complete. Oh, that's good. I hope Rita's dog walk went all right. Yes, out of all people on the live stream, Heather, yes, we've known each other at the longest. Dave, oh no, Dave. Oh no. You had an accident in the storm at your parents' place. Oh no. Oh, Dave, I'm so sorry hearing about your accident. I hope you overcome the accident. Yes, there's another Anthony. There are two Anthonys in here now. Yes, yes, Janet, I hope you finally kicked the pneumonia, as Pamela's so very faithfully hoping. Like my other son, I would have become. Oh, Heather, you're always so lovely. No, Heather, you're always so lovely. Oh, thank you, Sherry, thank you. Had it not been for Miss Southern Belle, I would never have encountered you. Our very lovingly protective Miss Southern Belle, that is. And Miss Southern Belle, I never said this to you, Sherry, but when looking at what she looks like, she reminds me of one of my friends, one of my wonderful, loveliest newfound friends. I never mentioned it to you. I never mentioned this to you, Sherry, but I think I'll tell you now. But our lovingly protective Miss Southern Belle reminds me of my good friend Michelle Pope a little bit. She looks a little bit like her in one way or another. She wears similar glasses to Miss Southern Belle. And the only difference is her hair is styled quite differently and all that. That's the only real showcase difference. Lots of snow, minusing. Oh, I couldn't bear -15. That's just bitterly cold. Michelle Pope, she follows Graham and Fiona Sapper. Michelle Pope, she's the one in Prestat in North Wales who follows Graham and Fiona. Just to say, we've both actually twice made a live stream appearance, Michelle and I, Sapper. We've both twice made a live stream appearance with Graham and Fiona. And it was very funny. Bingo, you got it. You're at 111 subs. Well done, Sherry. Well done. I need to watch your channel. I'll need to watch your channel. Oh, have you got to go? Ta-ta for now, Heather. I wouldn't say good night to you without giving you lots of big hugs always. You sleep well. You sleep well, Heather. And I don't, oh, look meow, you certainly didn't have to. But thank you. You certainly well and truly didn't have to. But thank you. Thank you. If you click on her channel, you'll find it. JB, hello. Yes, no, we're doing fine. We're doing fine. Oh, thank you, Danette and Anthony. Thank you for your friendliness towards Sapper. And Danette and Anthony, Sapper, he is ex-military, to tell you on things. He's an ex-military man and a former police officer. And my respect towards him, it could never fade. My respect towards him will never fade. I will always have such a strong grip of respect towards Shepard himself, big time. I mean, I always have a huge amount of respect for those who have served in the armed forces. Shepard being one example, Graham the Baron Hesketh, Trevor Colt, and of course Hutch from the Fitness Hutch, and Steve Gregson, Betty's and dearly loved husband. No, I would imagine Zappa has lots of stories, Pamela. I could well and truly imagine. He could tell you a lot. He could tell you a lot. He served in the armed forces for a long time. So, and he was a police officer for not quite as long as the time when he served in the armed forces, but other than that, he could really tell you a lot of stories about his time when he served in the armed forces and all the rest of things. Peace. Hello, Peace. Hello to you. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you for your respectable reverence towards Sapper. If anything, I have nothing but a strong grip of respectable reverence towards Sapper himself, not only for his years of service when he served in the armed forces, but also what he's like as a friend. He's a good friend to me. No, big time. He's a very good friend to me, big time. And the way he's looked out for me, I cannot thank him enough. And his content he does, it's top notch and enchanted. Brilliant music, brilliant live streams, lots of good banter, fun and naughty boy, naughty girl banter games and things. It is top notch fun and all that. I'm going to subscribe to you now, Sherry. I'm going to sub now. It's time for me to sub now. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how many subscribers one would need in order to do a live stream, Sherry. But I would certainly look forward to seeing you get into live streaming if you can get, if chance allows for you, because seeing you making a live stream appearance is always great fun and all that. So I am your 115th subscriber. I'm your 115th subscriber now, Sherry, just to say. And thank you, Danette and Anthony, for not for your friendliness towards McMeow, but also for your genuine kindness. Always, Danette and Anthony, from the moment I encountered you both, my strong grip of respectable reverence towards you will always remain strong and firmly committed, always. My strong grip of respectable reverence towards you both, Danette and Anthony, will never fade. And my strong grip of reverence towards, my strong grip of respectable reverence towards all of you, it will never die out, it will never fade, it will always remain strongly in your loyalties. Oh, it's certainly a pleasure. It's certainly a pleasure, Sherry. Yes, I know you're on the fence about him. You're changing him. Oh, I thought you had a strong grip of respectable reverence towards Sapper, Harriet. You've always said to me so much how much you love, cherish, and respect Sapper. I would never thought you would lose your strong grip of respectable reverence towards him. Or were you trying to pull a naughty boy or naughty girl boobgate joke with us? Boobs, as you would say. God. Oh, it's certainly a pleasure, Sheddy. Certainly a pleasure. We're happy to help and support you in whatever way we can. Thank you. No, it's certainly a pleasure always, Danette and Anthony. Pleasure always. Oh, X, you didn't have to, but thank you. Thank you all the same. Thank you. Thank you. It's all right, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'm going to do it now, Pamela. 62,190. You are the gentleman with the deep love for Teddy. Yes, that's true. I have a lot. I do like Teddy Kilburn. Yes, he's a fantastic actor, especially when he was a little boy, when he appeared in A Christmas Carol with the late Reginald Owen. He's still alive to this day, Teddy Kilburn. The first ever Tiny Tim on screen back in 1938. And he's still alive 86 years later. But obviously, he's a very, very old man now. But if you didn't know, 62,190, Teddy Kilburn, he was interviewed about a few short weeks after his 90th birthday to tell you on things. And he's still alive even years later. I mean, he's not far off 100 now, but he was interviewed when he was aged 90. And still very with it, even into his old age. He's still very with it, even into his old age. And when he was interviewed, actually, I think I'll send the interview now. Okay. Right, no. Okay. If anyone's interested in watching this when the live stream is over, just wait, bear with me a few short moments. Just linked it now. Just linked it. Hancock's half hour. Right. I'll just take a note of it right now. Your goal in the next few weeks is to write a letter to him. Hope to receive an autograph. He lives not far from a dear friend of... Yes, because he's Minneapolis, Minnesota. He lives in the Minnesotan U.S. state. That is Teddy Kilburn. But in case you're if you or anyone's interested in watching his interview, the link's up. If you're interested, if anyone's interested. And also, we had the birthday anniversary of somebody. Although Sapper already knows who I'm referring to, talking about the birthday from the 21st of November was his birthday, just to say. Right, Sapper, I'm just taking a note of your suggestion now, so I don't forget. Hancock's half hour. Just put it in my little sticky notes for now, because I think if you saw me writing it on a piece of paper, you'd be, come on, mate, come on, write it up in your sticky notes, or we'll steal your cats. That's good as the banter goes. Thank you, Danette and Anthony. You certainly didn't have to subscribe to Sapper, but thank you. Thank you all the same. You're in Minnesota. Yes, I know, Sherry, I know that. About to go into hibernation. Yeah, it'd be nothing but cold in Minnesota, Jody. Almost likely nothing but cold. And all that. Sorry, wait a moment. Just received something. Sorry, wait a moment. Just got to get something quickly done. And then I'm going to be straight back. And I am all yours once I get this small thing sorted out and things, I'm just going to be as quick as I can. Quickly does it, you know. Quickly does it, as Brian Blessed would so say. Good, it's alive! Yes! Good, it's alive! Good, it's alive! Marvelous! Oh, that's a lot of snow. 3 feet of snow. There's 3 feet of snow in the UAE. That is highly unusual. That's highly unusual. Yes, that's a lot of snow, Pamela. But I think Sap was pulling your leg because he lives in the United Arab Emirates. Yes, I can only imagine. I can imagine only too well, Sapper. I can well and truly only imagine. Quickly never does it. All good things take time. No, that's right, Harriet. I know. But I didn't want to leave you too long. But I'm all yours now. I'm all everybody in the chat. I'm all yours. Yeah, you've got a brilliant sense of humor, Pamela. No, honestly, Pamela, you've got a fantastic sense. Oh, Shapper probably meant a snow lady with big boobs. Oh, don't try and be a little careful. That's a little bit crude, but funny. That is the funny side too. Gosh, you're really cheeky tonight, aren't you, Harriet? Well, as you referenced, your master's in naughtiness. Oh my goodness. Don't have much snow yet. I just hope you don't get too much because sometimes it can be quite hard to clear out feet of snow. 60s during the day, 50s at night. That's actually nippy. That's nippy. But it would be warm to my friend McMeow. It would be Michelle Pope. When she was last on making a live stream appearance with Graham and Fiona, she said, the weather is gorgeous, it's lovely and warm, 10 degrees out there. 10 degrees is the equivalent of 50 degrees Fahrenheit. The moment I heard it, I was like, that's nothing but cold. That's nothing but cold, 10 degrees, hence 50 Fahrenheit. That's far too cold. And she was like, I've been sitting out in the garden, it's been lovely. And I was like, I'd be cold if I were you. I'd put my jacket on my coat. And then she was like, no. And then she was like, you'd see the difference between you and I. And then she explained something. I'm not going to explain the other part because I don't want anybody getting too offended. And if people were offended, if I'd said it, I'd obviously get the telling off for it. So I would skip the last part, so there we are. 25 centimeters snow last night. Oh, gosh. Yeah, no, yeah, Pamela, that is too cold, minus 16. That's far too cold. No, I never knew you felt the cold, Pamela, but I certainly really feel it because look, if you look here, Pamela, it's a jumper with That was weird. That was very weird what happened. I'm back now, but I've got back into the live stream. But that was weird. That was so weird. Buffer armor. It happened a moment ago, but that was weird. In the winter, you have to sit long enough to warm up the bench and not feel it. Too right. Yeah. I mean, that was so weird what happened. No, but Pamela, yes, I was talking to Pamela, and I've just remembered what it was I was saying. Minus 16 degrees, not only would that be too cold for you, Pamela, but me too. Because if you say, actually, no, because I don't want anything to go numb again. I've got a jumper on with my pajamas alongside the dressing gown. So I'm so it goes to show I do feel the cold a lot. I don't know if you do or not, but I unfortunately feel the cold a lot. I mean, even in 77-degree Fahrenheit weather, Pamela, I still unfortunately feel the cold a lot. Well, I mean, I don't feel it like winter cold, 77 Fahrenheit, but it would probably be I mean, I probably feel it in a comparable way to how some people would feel it in the spring or latterly part of winter, 77 Fahrenheit. But do share your thoughts on that. Even in 77 Fahrenheit weather, I would be wearing a jacket on or a coat, either zipped up or unzipped, with a jumper and shirt. But I never wear a vest. But I never wear a vest in 77 Fahrenheit. 77 Fahrenheit is 25-degree heat, Pamela. But even in 25-degree heat, Pamela, I still wear a jacket, even in that weather, a jacket or a coat. And I always have a shirt and jumper generally in that sort of weather, 20 and 25-degree heat. But I never wear a vest in that weather, just to say. I never have a vest on. So I mean, I don't know about you, but could you imagine one dressed like that in that sort of weather? You know, but it's not always fun feeling the cold. It's really not fun feeling the cold, Pamela. And sometimes you can't help but envy those who when you're like a 25-degree weather, just look at the people in the short sleeves having no problems. But you know, and then there's me in a jacket in that weather. You have worn party hose in the cold, or pantyhose. I'm sorry, pantyhose. You try to keep from putting on your super warm coat as long as humanly possible. Danette thinks you're not. Oh, Anthony. Oh gosh, not you. When the weather gets too hot, the clothes are less and less. Oh, yes, it's funny what Shapper said. Well, I think it probably goes to show I feel the cold probably more than you, Pamela. Oh dear. Despite being younger than you in age, I mean, despite being only 154 pounds of weight, I still feel the cold a lot. I mean, I'm no different feeling the cold to how I was even when I was 130 pounds. So, I mean, I don't know why. I don't know why I'm no different. Despite having put on weight, I still feel the cold a lot. Oh, yeah. But putting that to one side, that was just a represented explanation and all that. Did you mean say plainly at the weekend? Oh, okay. No, it was funny what Zappa said, Janet. Well and truly so. Oh my goodness. Pantyhose. Right, I need to look up pantyhose, Sapper, because I don't know. Pantyhose. Pantyhose. They're called high gloss sheer to waist pantyhose. Just looking at what they look like now. They're apparently sheer tights. Oh, they're tights. Oh, okay. The humidity in the air can cause the feeling of super cold if it is a damp air. Interesting that you explained this, Pamela. You know, no. But Pamela, I'm not the only person in my family who feels the cold a lot. I mean, quite a few people on my mother's side of the family feel the cold a lot, sadly. Stockings on ladies look much better. I agreed. -20, that's too cold. It's never really mattered. It's never really mattered whether the air was dry or what the humidity was, Pamela. You know, it's never really mattered. You know, it's never really mattered, if whether it's humidity or not. It's always made me cold. No, I think I've probably, if anything, Pamela, got poor circulation. I mean, I think certainly the older I got, the poorer it became. Well, the older I got, the colder I felt, sadly. Sadly, this is the price to pay when you get older, unfortunately, Pamela, but there we are. I mean, my mother's felt the cold, feels the cold. She's one example. So I'm not the only one. There are quite a few aunties of mine, a few and an uncle or two. And my best friend, David Scott, he feels the cold too. Much likely more than yourself, Pamela. Oh, the second Pamela, Pamela Garza's here, or Granny Pammy, as she's known by by her grandchildren. Hello to you, Pamela. Hello. Oh, Sapper. Crude, but funny. Don't wear fishnet tights, it makes your bum look like a... That's a good joke. That's a good one. Very good, Sapper. Very good. Yes, that is funny, Pound. Yes. Yes, it is certainly hello to our Pamela motto, indeed. Pamela, we've got our two Pamelas, our two lovely Pamelas, two lovely, tall, strong, cuddly ladies who we've both got in here. But no offence when saying this to them, of course. And also, both Pamelas are both cat owners. Pamela Motto with the two cats, Miles and Penny, and Pamela Garza with Braveheart the cat. And hello to Braveheart. Hello. Hello, Braveheart. Yes, the latest Pamela. We've got two Pamelas in here now. And hello, Pamela. Pamela Motto and Pamela Garza. Yeah, hold. Oh, Janet. Janet, I think you're becoming as cheeky as Harriet, aren't you? Or probably as humorous as Sapper. Well, Pamela's nearly humorous. She's humorous in her own way, but I think nothing, right now in this live stream at the moment, nothing could beat Sapper's humor. Sapper's humor is spot on, humorously brilliant. It's certainly is it comedically funny humor what Sapper retains, and we need more of Sapper's humor in this very day and age for sure. We need more comically funny people like Sapper in here. And Pamela, I mean, she's funny too. Don't get me wrong, all of you are funny, and all of you have got fantastic comical humor in your own way. Don't I would never. I'm certainly not excluding nor deleting the fact that each and every one of you in here has humor. You always wondered why your gentleman callers brought you bottles of syrup instead of wine. Oh, Daddy, it's cheeky. I'd bring you a wine bottle any day. Humor is great for the soul. Totally agree with you, Pamela. But Pamela, I wouldn't say hello without giving you a big, nice, long hug. There's nothing better than receiving a nice, long, strong hug from a tall, strong, cuddly lady. Lots of hugs and love to you always, Pamela. Made believe your mothers were going to Hatch Road and... Oh, Jeanette and Anthony. That was funny. That was funny. Oh, Sherry, you alerted us. Sherry, is anything all right, Sherry? Did you need to say anything? You laugh out loud here, Harriet and Sapper. Harriet and Sapper, you crack up, Pamela Moddard. Pamela, who's in Canada, she's Canada, that is, this one. She's got fantastic humor, and I think since you're known to crack her up, I think it's going to help retain her good humor. Yes, Sherry, what is it you'd like to say now? No, it's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure. Always lots of hugs to you, always, Pamela. You would make the worst cross-dressed. I think Pamela and I think Pamela's going to be laughing at this now. Can check out your son, Berserker Empire. I don't know Berserker Empire, but let me give it let me search it up now. Berserker Empire. All right. A Berserker Empire. All right. Okay. I haven't seen such channel at at the moment. I haven't seen such a channel as of yet. Your over-shoulder boulder hold. Oh, sap. Oh, Sapper, Pamela's suggesting you post a pic. Pamela and her dearly loved husband are going to be the judge of that, apparently so. They're going to be the strict judges of that. I haven't seen a channel called Berserker Empire, Sherry. I haven't seen it. I've tried. I've just looked up the name, but it's not come up. It's not come up at the moment. More like pebbles to share. Oh, your Danette and Anthony's got a. I've got a question for you, Sherry. Anyone else missing parts of the chat? No, I don't think so, Janet. But Harriet, have you got any more clothes that need special tailoring yet? Because if so, have you been meeting your handsome tailor who you have a great crush on? No, but to be honest with you, on a no laughing matter, to share the point, I think I'm going to have to go for I think I'm going to have to go for special tailoring my trousers in the future, because every time I need to get a new pair of trousers, should the old pair of trousers wear thin or fall apart, I always have a very difficult time finding a new pair, and that in itself is not amusing. And why I have a difficult time finding one in my own size is because they don't always cater for men with 30-inch waists. And I'm an example of a man with a 30-inch waist and a 30 inside leg. And that and it can be quite difficult to find a pair of trousers in a 30-inch waist. Shepard, I don't wear jeans. You know I don't wear a pair of jeans. You know that. So there we are, Joy! Hello, Joy. Please be nice, especially nice to Joy. Please be especially nice to Joy because she's going through too much at the moment. So please, our kindness and much respect to our lovely Joy. How about a nice long hug to our Joy? You're going through too much, Joy. Lots of nice long protective handheld hugs to you. I've never been appealed to wearing jeans, Pamela. Even when I was a little boy, I've never been interested in the look of them or wearing them. I mean, I have worn jeans when I was younger, and I haven't worn jeans since I was about 14, 15, something like that. The older I got, the less appealed I became to them and all that. I think, if anything, in my opinion, I think a nice black pair of trousers or yellow beige or corduroys are much more appealing. But my bestie, David Scott, he would never have problems finding clothes, and I envy trousers, and I envy him for that. And why I envy David, him being able to get a pair of trousers much more accessibly than myself, you know, once I mean, why I envy David, the fact that he can get a pair of trousers far more accessibly than myself, is because he's got a 32-inch waist. And I'm like, "Oh, David," I was like, "Lucky," I was like, "You lucky git. You'd be able to find a pair of trousers far more accessibly than I would, because I've only got a 30-inch waist, and I have a difficult time trying to find a pair of trousers now because of my 30-inch waist." And I mean, I don't know why. It really needn't be like this. It really needn't be like this. But why should men with 30-inch waists be undercatered for? And goodness forbid, I really hope my mother doesn't get undercatered for trousers, because my mother's got a waist size no bigger than a 27, 28-inch waist. So, because my mother's got a smaller waist than what I've got, so I'm not the only person in my family with a smaller waist. Also, one of my aunties is an example, one of my mother's sisters. So the last thing I would want is not only, well, I already go through it every time I need a new pair, but the last thing I'd want is my mother and my auntie being undercatered for a pair of trousers, because they're not even tall. They're not even tall, my mother and my auntie. Only seeing a line or two in a chat. Oh no, I didn't realize you can't see very well, Janet, with the chat. I'm so sorry about this. Only seeing a line or two. Oh no. But do take care, Janet. Do take care. But I'm sorry if something has put you off quite greatly. But it was certainly wonderful seeing you here. But what is it that I'm missing now? I missed something. Oh, Harriet, yes. Seeing your tailor on Tuesday. Think he fancies measuring the inside of your leg, though. Still very handsome. Oh, Sapper, you're pulling my leg. Oh, goodness. A large Texas cattle rat. Yeah. Oh, I think I remember you saying before, Pamela, that you have a large Texas cattle rat. Oh, sorry. Wait a moment. What's? Oh, only a minute for something. Not the live, but sorry, Shelly. I'm going to search it now. I found it. Found it. I've just found it now, and I've just subscribed to your son, Shelly. And for anyone who's interested in Shelly's son's channel, right? Right, got it linked up. I'm his 66th subscriber, Shelly, if it answers things to you now. He doesn't his mind is on the other. It's oh, cheeky. Horses don't earn their keep. No horses, but your neighbor has some. Has some you enjoy. Oh, have you got to go? Ta-ta for now, Lisa. Ta-ta for now. You take care. You take care. No, I know about horses being expensive to keep. Yeah. Oh, have you got to go? Sleep well, Sapper. Do get well soon. Continued healing wishes for a continued recovery, Sapper. Wishing you well always. Sleep well, and wishing you well for your full recovery. Cows require hoof maintenance. That is very true, Pamela. Completely true, Pamela. Yes. You're at 60. Yes, that's true, Harriet. This is certainly true. Just trying to keep the kid out. Thank you, Pamela, McMeow, Jody, and Harriet for your friendliness towards Sapper. Thank you. Thank you. Low maintenance cows. Oh, okay. You've got low maintenance cows, Pamela. Low maintenance cows. How do the grandchildren take to your low-maintenance cars, Pamela? I'm sure they must be very interested in your low-maintenance cars. Oh, interesting. Okay. Okay, Pamela. I see your point now. We now see your point. Four-wheelers are cheaper to work cars than horses. You take care, Danette and Anthony. You take care. You sleep well, Danette and Anthony. Sleep well. Ta-ta for now. Can't rope off a four-wheeler. Oh, gosh. The grandkids like the goats and piglets more than the cows. That's interesting. Yes, and apparently they're quite cheeky, as you did tell me. Well, for grandchildren to just hug your legs and things, that's a cheeky trait. But they're young, but they're young yet, aren't they? They're still young yet. They're still learning. They'll eventually grow out of hugging one's legs and things. Can rope off four-wheelers just fine. That's good that you can do that, Pamela. Ah, totally agree with you, Pamela. Yes, it's cool what Pamela Garza does. Pamela G. You don't want them to outgrow hugging your legs. You don't want them to. I would have thought it was a bit much for you with them hugging your legs. I thought it was too much for you. But I could imagine Pamela Motto gets lots of cuddles from her cats, Miles and Penny, or the fur kids, as she would so describe them as. I imagine they always try and snuggle up with Pamela and things, or seek for cuddles and all that. No, but a lot of children do eventually outgrow hugging one's legs, Pamela, just to say. That just generally happens with a lot of children. They eventually outgrow certain behavioral traits and all that. This is true, Pamela, yes. But and as a result of that, they eventually grow certain traits. They outgrow certain personality traits and all that. Your fur kids love snuggles. Oh, that's lovely. Lisa is looking after a lovely Maine Coon called Galadriel. How interesting. How interesting. Well done, Lisa. Well done, Lisa, for looking after the Maine Coon. Cutting and getting in the thick of it is where it's at. I could only imagine just too well, Pamela, that your cats love snuggles. I mean, why wouldn't a cat want to snuggle up with you? As after all, you're a lovingly wonderful cat owner everybody loves and adores. That is. No, but really, Pamela, no, I value all cat owners for all that they do for their cats. All cat owners, I have much respectable reverence towards. No, really, I well and truly mean what I say on that. So, you two, the two Pamelas, and all of you on here who are cat owners and certainly dog owners, much respectable reverence towards you both, towards all of you. Much respectable reverence to all of our pet owners in here, and for all that you do for your cats or any of your pets. Huge respectable reverence always. Willa the cow chewed up your laptop cord, had to buy a new one. Naughty cow. That is a totally naughty cow. I know, Sherry, yes, I remember you saying so. I remember you saying so before. Well, much respectable reverence in that regard always. No, much respectable reverence to all of our pet owners in here, and all of you in here who are pet owners. Much respectable reverence always. Thank you. Thank you. I totally agree with you, Pamela. Yes, I totally agree with you. She certainly is a true animal lover. And you've got a bird too. How interesting. Oh, sorry, wait a moment. Sorry, I've got to sort another thing out in a minute. Don't want to make the computer go numb if I sort this thing out. Sorry, I've nearly folded myself up. Your friends, you must attend to your... Oh, ta-ta for now, Pamela. Ta-ta for now. Lots of cuddles to Miles and Penny. You take care, Pamela. I wouldn't say goodbye without giving you a great big hug and squeeze always. You take care. Ta-ta for now, Pamela. Right, I've got to sort something out now. Right, wait a moment. Oh. Oh, Sherry, you've got a question from our lovely Pamela. I mean, lots of great big hugs and squeezes to our Pamela Morrow, and certainly looking forward to the next time you're on alive, Pamela. I love you dearly, Pamela. I really do. I mean, who couldn't love our Pamela Morrow? Who couldn't love her? And if I could, Pamela, I could just hug and squeeze you all day, any day. I really could. There's nothing better than receiving a nice long, strong hug from a tall, strong, cuddly lady like that of our lovely Pamela Morrow, and as well as receiving a nice, long, strong hug from our lovely Pamela Garza, also a tall, strong, cuddly lady too, who doesn't want her grandchildren to outgrow hugging her legs. No. I mean, I wouldn't think that's all that they just do, hugging your legs, but I can imagine they always give you a nice hug and cuddle if they were on the sofa, the couch and things, or if you were reading them a story and all that, you know. Your late mother's cat. You've got a parrot. How interesting, Sherry. How interesting. You've got a parrot. We love our Pamela Morrow, don't we, Joy? We love our Pamela. He has a smudge on his nose. You said not shouting. You said not shouting stockings. That's not a very appealing name for a cat, is it? You always shout waff and Tom. Cat. Cheeky Harriet. Oh, you had a cat named Smudge for the same reason. Oh, hello to Jenna. Oh no. Oh dear, if you try to comment to anyone, you lose the whole chat. Oh, no, Janet, I really hope I haven't caused you any hurt or upset. No, if I have caused you any hurt and upset, Janet, I am really sorry. No, I mean, I'm so sorry learning that if you comment to any of us, you lose the whole chat. No, you don't lose the chat, Pamela. Oh, Janet, sorry. No, I'm so sorry learning that you lose the whole chat if you eavesdrop. No, but we love you, Janet. We love you dearly. I mean, I certainly love you dearly, if above and beyond anything. Oh, have you got a roll? You take care. I wouldn't say good night or goodbye to you without a great big hug and squeeze always, Zeph. A big, nice, long hug and squeeze to you always. A nice long hug and squeeze to you always. Well, I'd be able to give you a protective one, couldn't I? I'd certainly be able to give a small, lovely lady a nice long protective hug and squeeze in any way. Oh no, Janet, we love your contributions and we love your conversant chats. We have nothing against your conversant chats. Completely nothing at all. Oh, Deborah Chellingworth is here. Hello to Deborah in Australia. Hello to you down under. I would never say hello without giving you a great big hug and squeeze always. And just to tell all of you, Deborah, lovely, lovely Deborah here, she has been trying to make a doll with a similar shaped face to me. Can you fancy that? Fancy something like that, you know? Oh, a lovely Deborah. Oh, a noble, lovely Deborah. Oh, Pamela, if I could just hug and squeeze you all day, any day. No, really, I could. Thank you for your kindness towards Deborah. Thank you. Thank you. Oh no, Harriet, you're buffering. Oh no. Oh no. Right, wait a moment. Let me test things out. Nothing seems to be buffering on my end. Completely nothing seems to be buffering on my end. No buffering in your end. Oh, okay. Thank you for telling me so. We'll always catch Zeph another time, won't we, Jody? Indeed we will. Honestly, Deborah, if I could just hug and squeeze you all day, any day. No, really, I could. And Deborah, if anything, it was actually fairly touching. It was both amusing and touching, learning that you've been working on making a doll with a similar face shape to me. You know, I never knew you were very appealed to the face shape that I've got. And I never could have thought you'd be appealed to a small 5'8" and 154-pound man with a full head of dark hair, roundish face, fair skin, and dark brown eyes. I didn't think that look would appeal to you, but interesting if it does. Interesting, you know. Puppy needed water. And oh, thank you. Oh, Pamela, thank you. Thank you. That's very nice of you. No, you'll definitely always be my friend, Pamela. Thank you. Thank you for saying I have a very nice face. Thank you. Thank you. I mean, many times, until I put on weight, Pamela, I was considered many times to be handsome. I mean, but back in the day when this happened, I only weighed 130 pounds. So could you imagine what that would look like on a 5'8" frame? 130 pounds. And that was the weight I was when I, at one point, was considered quite a lot, considered to be handsome at this point back in the day. It was until about 3 years ago now. It was until about, it was until about 2021 when I put on weight, putting on about over 24 pounds, going to 154 pounds. It was after I put on weight, I didn't always, heard about people saying that I looked handsome or not. Some still do. Some still do, but I don't get it so often now since I put on weight. But to be honest with you, I'm not really that bothered, really. Everybody's going to have a different opinion as to what one looks like and all that. But it's not about looks. It's about what one's core depth of personality traits are like. Such a lovely man. It's my expressive face. Oh, thank you, Deborah. That's very nice of you to have said this. Thank you. Thank you. I look very healthy. Oh, thank you. I'm okay. I'm not too bad for health. I mean, It could do with being a little bit better, but I mean, I think the only thing that's really kept me in a good weight, a fairly reasonable weight, and in reasonably good health is namely good diet, really. Well, it's not a bad diet because I normally live on a diet fruit and vegetable and fish diet is what I namely live on. And this morning, I only had porridge for breakfast, just porridge and raspberries, and that was it. That was what I had for my breakfast. And I had only a salad lunch and a fish and vegetable dinner, and that was it. No, I had a meat. I had a little bit of a meat salad, which was what I had for lunch. I do eat meat, but I really don't eat a lot of it. That is. I always have a lovely countenance. Oh, thank you, Joy. My favourite novel is Cat and Canary, Harriet. Cat and Canary is my favourite novel, Harriet. Cat and Canary, that is. Seem to do a good bit of walking. I can walk well. I can fortunately walk well, thank goodness. But I would never take it for granted. I mean, yes, I know, Sherry, you're only 5 feet. No, I don't think that's midget height. I don't think that's midget. No, I don't think that's midget height, Sherry. I wouldn't think so. No, no, no. No, but though all of us would be taller than you, Sherry, we certainly would not think it's midget height. My friend, my friend Heather, if she found this out about you, she would say, um, Heather would say, all good things come in small packages, Sherry. That's what she would say to you. Hello, Isabella. Hello, hello, hello to you. Hello to our lovely Isabella Sutton. Protein is nothing but vitally important, Pamela. Deborah. Oh, don't worry, Deborah. No worries. No worries at all. No worries. I do hope your desert roses and resin work is working out okay. I hope it's working out all right for you, Deborah. A lot taller. Well, 5 foot and 5 foot 8. Yes, that would be a lot taller. Oh, what the? Wait a moment. Sorry, wait a moment. Yes, you said before. Oh. No, Arthur. No, I'm 5 pounds short of your weight. I'm 5 pounds short. But there is an actor who's the same height of you. He's only 160 pounds. So really, hardly any different to you. But I've got a friend who's the same height as you, Pamela. She's exactly the same weight as me, 154 pounds. Same height as you, but same weight as me. So just short of your weight, that is. But that would be more than my mother, just to say, Pamela. And I don't think my mother would cope with 159 pounds. For the few moments, Deborah, yes, but I got the torch back on. It's low battery is what my torch has got. Low battery, that is. No, but my mother would be lighter than I. I don't know what my mother would be for weight, but my guess is she's probably around about 132, 140 pounds, probably no more than 140 pounds, something like that. No, my mother's fairly petite. Well, she's small to fairly petite, which is how one could describe my mother. Both of us are fairly small statured, to tell you of things, Pamela. We're fairly small statured, mother and I. So smaller than you. My height, 5 foot 8, Aries. I'm 5 foot 8, but my mother is shorter than I. Oh gosh, wow, you've got a short mother, Eddie's 5 feet 1. My mother, how to describe my mother? No, but to tell you something, Pamela, one of my aunties is 142 pounds, so less than both of us. You're talking a fairly small lady. Um, one of my aunties, well, it's probably obviously not quite as small as my mother, though. But gosh, Eddie, your mother really is small. Gosh, your mother really is short. Oh gosh, 6 foot's tall. Certainly for a lady. Oh, but oh, so I'm shorter than you, Eddies. I'm shorter than you, as I'm only 5 foot 8. But you know, I'm happy being a small thing. I'm happy being a small thing. Oh gosh, 6 foot. I'd have to look up talking to her, wouldn't I? No, well, the thing is with me, Pamela, anybody. So, I mean, anybody who's 6 foot or over, I always have to look up talking to them. She's born in 1942. Oh gosh, so she'd be what, 82 now? That was very tall for a lady back then. No, that is true. No, I'm pretty sure I have met a few ladies who are about 6 foot and over. Oh no, you're buffering again, Harriet. Oh, right, wait a minute. I know what to do now. I know what to do. I need to charge up my torch. Dark again before one asks, and I hope this does not turn into a dark gate. Your mother's going to be, I remember you saying before, Daddies, that your mother's going to be 76 next year. Happy 76th birthday for your mother next year. And hopefully we'll run into each other at the detention bus rally. It's just you saw me, but we didn't say hello. That's the thing. Like, wait a moment, we've got to get the torch sorted out now. Right. Right, wait a moment. No, no. No. There we are, done it. Right, there we are. Scary tales, no, 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 I'm not. Buffering in Kentucky, oh no. Not buffering. Oh no. Oh no, you're buffering, Heidi. Oh no. Torches flashlight in the United States, yes. No, but Pamela, as you're saying, no, you're too right. 6 foot for a lady back in the 40s, and certainly the 50s and the 60s, was very tall back then. No, but come to think of it, I remember actually at the London to Brighton Kitten Sports Classic Car Show event in June of 2023. I mean, I met a lady and her daughter who were easily no shorter than 6 foot. They definitely had to have been no shorter than 6 foot, the two of them. Just to say, no, easily no shorter than 6 foot. Um, I think they were probably, if anything, I think they were probably taller than your mother's height, I would say. Where you live, a lady turned 105. Oh gosh, that is elderly. No, wow. You know, but no, but the lady and her daughter, I mean, they couldn't have been, I mean, they couldn't have been any shorter than 6 foot. I think the mother must have been about 6 foot 1.5, 6 foot 2, something like that. No, very, very tall. No, very, very tall. And she was a Chevy owner, just to say. No, she was there was a class one of the classic car owners, though she was very tall. No, easily about 6 foot 2, 6 foot 1.5, something like that. So So you can imagine what I would have looked like stood beside her, short, but never mind. You know, I think it's fair to say a lot of people are taller than I, but never mind, never mind. Where I come from, it's a small family, and the daughter had to have been a similar sort of. I don't think the daughter was quite 6'2". I think the daughter must have been about around about half an inch over 6 foot, maybe 6'1", something like that. So both no shorter than 6 foot. The mother and the daughter, and the husband was also very, very tall, who couldn't have been any shorter than 6'4", 6'5", something like that. So very, very tall. But the classic car, fortunately, it was big enough for them, the Chevy. Yeah. A great big, large classic car, tall couple. Sort of fits well, doesn't it? Daughter's about 5'11", not considered super tall for her generation. Oh, I know many have gotten taller, haven't they, Pamela? A lot of lot of people have gotten taller, you know. Certainly my generation have gotten considerably taller, big time. To tell you something, Pamela, all throughout my time in secondary school, I was the shortest boy in my classroom. I was the shortest boy in my class, taking into account taking into account my only 5'8" of height, a lot of my generation is generally by and large taller than that. I've certainly seen quite a lot of tall young teenagers, and there's certainly a lot of tall girls and things. Kind of tall for his age. Your fiance's neighbor has a 3-year-old boy. He's very sweet and very clever for his age, but he's kind of tall. You had a crush on the shortest boy in your grade school. He was a fine musician. Interesting. Interesting. Keeps gut instinct to wear fear. Yes, totally right. No, but Pamela, to share with you something, I actually met a nice, lovely young girl at Lewis railway station a few short months back, and she wanted to be taller than the height she was. And why that was, because like you, she was shorter than her mother. Actually, no, she was shorter than both her parents, actually. And she said, I think her parents must have been about 6 foot, I think, or maybe just under with one of them, something like that. No, both her parents were tall, just to say, both quite tall, and yet she was shorter than both of them. And that was her disappointment. And that was her disappointment in life, Pamela, because she wasn't as tall as her parents. But but the good thing is, though smaller than her parents, she can still be considered. She would still be, her parents' little girl. I mean, she wasn't short. She wasn't short. She wasn't short. The girl. I mean, bear in mind, she was about the same height as me, the young girl. She was about the same height as me, but she wanted to be taller. No, but she was a sweet thing. I didn't get enough time to say it because we only conversed for about 5 minutes, the girl and I. No, no, but she was quite petite. She was around about my height, very, very petite. So smaller than us, actually, Pamela. I mean, I don't know what she would have been for size, the daughter, but the little girl, but she couldn't have been anything more than 124 pounds, something like that. So very, very petite. So not all really a short thing, no, but very, very petite for size. You wouldn't think she's tall if you'd seen her sitting down because of her petite stature. No, but she was very, very petite thing. A very, very petite thing. So I think to your parents, she'd be if she was their daughter, she'd be their pocket-sized daughter. But I wouldn't say that out of discriminatory. No, I know, as you were saying, Pamela, I do know, yes. Parents are 6 foot and 6'2", happy being shorter than them. Well, the good thing is, Pamela, you're still their little girl. You'll always still be their little girl. And I'm sure they're over the moon to still have a little girl for their daughter. Both your children are taller than you. Son is oh gosh, that is tall. 6'4" really is tall. That's that's taller than Thomas Gardiner, who's 6'3", 6'3.5", something like that. Midge is a cute nickname. I totally agree. Right, what is it that I was looking for? Brother is 6 foot and calls you Midge. Oh, interesting. I know, Aries. Yes, I know. I'm nearest to Brighton, Aries, nearest to Brighton. Not Hastings, nearest to Brighton, just to say. I'm a Brightonian resident, just to tell you on things. Almost Thanksgiving in the United States. Now, I know it's on the Thursday, and I've got a Thanksgiving special live stream to do. It's going to be the usual inspirational live stream, but it's got a slightly edited part in the titling. It'll be the inspirational live stream, 28th November 2024. But the only difference being is that it's also got an added titling saying the Thanksgiving. I'll check the titling anyway. I'll check it anyway. I'll check its titling. Oh no, sorry. Once I've checked this, I'm all yours. I'll be all yours. Oh, there we are. Inspirational live stream, an American Thanksgiving special. That's the one. Oh gosh, it's a night job. Oh wow. I don't think so. I don't know, but that's not a bad idea. You said 11:15 a.m. to 11:45 a.m. You got the time wrong. 1:15 is in the middle of the night. Did you mean 1:15 p.m.? Oh, they cast it as day. Oh, right. Oh, okay. Oh, wow, 1500s. But eating turkey? Hmm. That's certainly not such a bad idea. That is certainly not such a bad idea. Deep roots in England. Interesting. Interesting. You always got little Joy and joyful Joy. Yes, because you're quite a small thing, aren't you, Joy? Because Joy, you are the same height as my best friend David Scott, 5'4.5". But before one asks, yes, my best friend David is 5'4.5". I mean, you're talking a short man with David, 5'4.5". So a very short man is how one could describe him. Mother was full blood. Interesting. You had family in England as far back as 1500s. Oh, it's a wonderful story, Pamela. It's a wonderful, wonderful story. You know, and really, Pamela, I couldn't be more fortunate to have David in my lifetime. or more, let alone more. I couldn't be more thankful and more fortunate to have somebody like David in my lifetime. He's helped me big time. No, he really helped me big time, David did. You know, how I met him, Pamela, was it was through the Daphne content I did. I mean, because we got Daphne back in June of 2021 when she was just a kitten. Because Daphne was born in March 2021. So just before Easter. So she was nearly at the time an Easter baby. And, you know, and when we got Daphne, I took videos of her. I've been taking videos of Daphne since she was a little kitten. And back then I used to say, little Daphne, little Daphne. And then once David found out that Daphne is Maine Coon, or partially Maine Coon, that is, because her father was Maine Coon, but her mother wasn't, even though she does look very, very Maine Coon, that is, as she's got it in the inherent genetics. He actually said to me, I don't think you'll be saying little Daphne for very long because the breed can grow to be quite large, which is true as evidenced with Daphne's very sheer size now, who's more than twice the size of Nixie. Um, that was how I met David, through the Daphne content I did. And then we met within weeks after I first found out about him, Pamela. After I first heard from him, we met within weeks. Weeks we met. We met at the 2021 Worthing Bus Rally event. You've been best friends with a lady named Anne since 1991, so 30 years before I met David. Oh, how lovely, Pamela. Oh, David's wonderful. He's a wonderful little man. Well, I think it'll probably be a bit discriminatory, even though he's 5'4.5" of height. But it's not exactly little and large when looking at the two of us together. But it's a difference anyway. But no, he's a wonderful man. He's very friendly. He was the one. Why I thank him was so much, Pamela, was he was the one who got me into event attending, to the vintage rally events with the vintage organs and things, or steam rally events then as they're known. And he also got me into attending vintage vernacular events and classic car running events and all that. And events like things, like the Tinkers Park, the Lawton, what's next? Parham Park, Hellingley, Broyle. Uh, yes, Broyle, or Detling, Eastbourne Magnificent Motors, the London's Brighton Kit Sports and Classic Car Run. And all that, and the London's Brighton Historic Commercial Vehicle Run. The Brooklands Easter Classic Car event. He only went there just once, but I'm now going to go annually. Brooklands is Weybridge, Surrey, by the way. So many events to list out. Okay, no, now I've got it. Hastings Classic Car Show, the Hastings Sprat and Winkle, London's a Brighton Veteran Car Run, and things, on the Worthing. And actually, you'd be surprised, Pamela, when both David and I were at Parham Park, and it was our first time when we went in 2022. That was. We found out about the Worthing Minis by the Sea car show event. David didn't go. He's not gone as of yet, but we found out about it at this event. And after I found out about it, I took note of the event, and then I just went. And I've been going to Worthing Minis by the Sea ever since 2022. And I've gone 2022, 2023, 2024, and looking forward to going again 2025. Oh, yes. I've just remembered, just remembered the Worthing Lions Classic Car Show and the Worthing Sunny Sunday, American Sunny Sunday revival show and all that. So it's true, David. I found out about these events. We do share hobbies, Pamela. Yes, we certainly do now. We very, very much, unquestionably, without questioning ground of doubt, David and I share hobbies. Your genetics came back that you have more Irish genes than the average person. How interesting. How interesting, Pamela. I totally agree, Joy. It's remarkable. Totally remarkable. Your aunt has a great big building of classic cars she restored. How interesting, Sherry. How interesting. No, but can I tell you, Pamela, I am sorry if I've bored you in any shape or form. If I have, I greatly apologize. But Pamela, going to these events that David introduced me to, they have proved instrumentally useful in helping me with overcoming the loss of my wonderful late grandfather Edmund, who passed away back in February 2020, only aged 73, unfortunately. And also helped me overcoming sadness from other troubles. And at the time, when I first met David, Pamela, I was going through too much at this point. I was going through a lot, and I was going through what was one of the lowest points in my life. I mean, I was broken. I was broken. I mean, I was broken when I first met him. I mean, I just lost my grandfather, and not I mean, and not just that, and then other things burdened to sadness too. Then I was going through other troubles that just emboldened on the grief, and to the point where it broke me mentally. No, I did go I mean, to be honest with you, Pamela, going through a period where it's a low point in your life, and going through a period when you're mentally broken, it's not a fun thing to contemplate to or to endure. It's not an easy thing to contemplate to, being mentally broken. I'm fine now. Fortunately, I'm okay now, but, yes, what you could say, I was going through a really a hard point, a very emotionally low point in my life when I first met David. But going to these events, it didn't happen straight away, but over time when I went to these events, Pamela, you know, I really felt I really felt a tremendous weight lifted off of my shoulders over time after I went to the events David introduced me to. And now it's become almost like a tradition to me going to these events now. And now for the rest of my life, all my life to come, there is one person and one person I can well and truly thank for the events I'm now greatly familiar of going to. It's all because of David, you know. And I also thank another person for introducing me to the uh, the Amberley Transport Museum, whether they've got events going ahead or not, and that is stroke survivor Jonathan Clements. Brilliant friends to have. He's one of my best friends, Jonathan, and David and Jonathan. I have huge, strong grip of respectable reverence towards. Huge. A good friend seems to come along just when we need them. Angels among us. Totally right. Totally right. Oh, have you got to go meds kicking in? Oh gosh, that's going to have an effect. You sleep well, Joy. But obviously, apologies for any side effects you may be enduring tomorrow. Sleep well, and I hope tomorrow isn't too rough for you. Take given the meds you've taken. Harriet, yes. Bring things to a close at the 2 hour mark. Don't forget you were here last night and this morning with you. Many are preparing for the holidays. Don't you worry. We're going to go 3 hours, Harriet. We're going to go 3 hours. So I don't think 2.5, 3 hours would hurt. But if I was doing one, say, tomorrow or the day after, then it would only be about 1 hours long to give people time to prepare for the holidays, as so rightly stated. And don't forget, there's going to be a Thanksgiving live stream special, which will be done in my evening time, and it will be probably represented by the time your Thanksgiving dinner is ready, I would assume. And it will be probably airing when most of you are having a dinner. So if you want some entertainment while eating your Thanksgiving tea time, well, my live will be here. My live will be on. That is. 3 is good. Oh, thank you, Shelley. I mean, you didn't have to, but Harriet cares. Harriet cares greatly, um, Shelley. And once you get to know Harriet, especially when you become friends with her, you would understand just how much she cares for not only you, but everybody within a whole surrounding within a content or anything, you know. Just to tell you, Shelley, that is. And Harriet is a teacher, by the way, so this could explain why why she cares a great deal, not only for people but children also, you know. I mean, you didn't have to, Shelley, but thank you all the same. Thank you. Oh, Pamela. Pamela. I mean, Pamela, thank you for your kindness towards Joy. I mean, if you were there saying goodnight to Joy, I think the only thing you'd expect from Joy is a big, nice, long hug and squeeze from her. But after all, Pamela, you definitely would be good at giving her a nice, long, protective hug, wouldn't you? Taking into account 5'4.5" and 5'10", respectively, you'd definitely be very good at giving her a good protective hug, wouldn't you? You know, with the hand held on the back of the head and the arm round the shoulders, and the other arm wrapped round the shoulders, which I know she'd probably greatly value from you. But no offence when saying this to you, of course, Pamela, you know, and all that. Oh dear. Sorry, Jody. Sorry if my retort was very naughty towards Harriet. This is true, Harriet. This is true. Don't worry, Jody. I certainly will. Come I don't expect many to be on the Thanksgiving live stream special. I don't expect many, so no worries, no worries. But that's all. But obviously, I'm going to check all American. I mean, initially, I initially put it up for 7:05 p.m. UK time, but I will check the states zone times because it's all different time zones in the states. That is, so check the time zones and I'll reassess the timing of the Thanksgiving live stream special so that it doesn't burden one's Thanksgiving celebrations and things. Deborah, hello, hello, hello to you, Deborah. Hello, 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 hello to lovely Deborah. I wouldn't say hello without giving you a big, nice, long hug and squeeze always. Oh, I would give you a nice big hug and squeeze. To our lovely Deborah, who we all love dearly. Oh. And hello to the cats as well, Deborah. And hello to Sebastian and Cheyenne too. Oh, hello to the handsome Sebastian and the little girl Cheyenne. No, but hoping your dearly loved husband's all right following the heart issues he had. I hope he's all right following heart issues. Oh, thank you, Pamela, thank you. Time to check in the barn, put all the animals to bed for the night. Yes, do get that sorted because that's going to be a vitally important task. Sleep well, Pamela. I wouldn't say good night without giving you a nice big long hug and squeeze always. I love you, Pamela. I really do. I mean, who couldn't love you? You sleep well, lovely Pamela, and I do hope it's not too much of a task getting all the barn animals to bed. Hug and squeeze always. Oh, oh. It's always lovely having our Pamela, isn't it, Harriet? Nothing was meant by it. Oh, Harriet, thank you for your friendliness towards Deborah. Deborah was going through quite a bit of a rough time recently because her dearly loved husband had heart issues recently. So, strength and healing to Deborah's dearly loved husband, Mr. Coleman. Strength and healing. No, but can I tell you something, Deborah? I mean, anybody who's been put through the pains with certain health trouble, the only thing I can well and truly do is empathize. That's all I can do. Anybody who's got health trouble, I can only well just empathize with the person falling victim to health trouble. That's all I can well and truly do. Especially because if you didn't know, Deborah, my late grandfather Edmund, he unfortunately, about 20 or so years before he died, he suffered a severe heart attack, which completely did it in for his health, unfortunately. And why it did it in for his health, I say, was because it required quadruple bypass surgery. But the problem it was, post bypass surgery, once the surgeons finished his bypass surgery, they accidentally damaged his esophagus, I'm afraid. So, post bypass surgery, my late grandfather Edmund was left with fairly lacking strength and a bad esophagus to the point where it hurt if he swallowed his food. So, post heart attack and post quadruple bypass surgery, eating and drinking, it wasn't his pleasurable enjoyment. Eating only child sized portions for the latter over 20 years of his life. The only thing that really kept him going was just doing a long walk. He couldn't do anything overly physical, like, cycling or going for a run or yoga and Pilates and things. He wouldn't have done that because it probably would have given him another heart attack if he tried that. So it did, though he could walk well and do a long walk, it obviously wasn't the answer. It obviously didn't cure his poor health, I'm afraid. We had a snowstorm. A big pine tree fell on your husband's car. He had to chainsaw it off. That's disaster. That is disaster. Oh gosh. The car must have sustained some heavy damage if a pine tree was blown onto it. Only had it snow once so far in Minnesota. Oh gosh, wow. Oh, but Deborah, I'm so sorry about your dearly loved husband's car. Totally agreeing with you big time, Anthony. Totally agreeing with you big time. completely agreeing with you big time on that. Not only that, but when my grandfather Edmund, because before he died, he was diagnosed with a rare type of cancer, blood cancer type of illness called thrombocythemia. And thrombocythemia, it's a it's a sort of it's a health issue where one has too many red blood cells and too many platelets. Sadly, there's no cure for it, but you can only take medication to stop it getting worse. You need to send me the link, Anthony, about the petition. I need the link for it. No, but I really do hope there'll be a petition to raise awareness to thrombocythemia in the future. But the petition I seriously hope comes around in my lifetime is a petition for raising awareness to thrombocythemia, because that was how I lost my grandfather Edmund. His cause of death was thrombocythemia, and the thrombocythemia, unfortunately, was the final nail in the coffin for his overall genuine poor health, which he was dealing with a long time before he was diagnosed and all that. He bought it at a used car/junkyard. Oh, a bit of a very silly thing to do, what your husband did. Very silly thing. Yes. No, no, but Anthony, I don't know how to access the petition, but could you link it to me, please? But I don't know about you, Anthony, but do you think there should also be a petition to raise awareness for thrombocythemia? Do look up thrombocythemia, and when you look it up, it may shock or surprise you as to what it can do to oneself, thrombocythemia. Because that was how I lost my grandfather, you see. So there. Sorry if I got a little quiet, but a very silly thing for somebody to do, purchase up a used car in the slash junkyard. That's a very silly thing to do. No, that really is a well and truly silly thing to do. Obviously, I mean, I don't know, one probably wouldn't get a hell of a lot of mileage from a car like that, but there you are. There you are. Righty ho, we're heading up to 2 hours, but we're going to give it about another 30 minutes after that. If I go on 3 hours, I'll probably get told off quite brutally, but we'll give it another 30 minutes uh, from now. We'll give it another 30 minutes from now, and then we're going to wrap things up, because many of you need to get ready for Thanksgiving, don't you? I think the one thing I'm probably going to do on the Thanksgiving live is probably change the time I'm going to do it. But I'm going to do a long Thanksgiving live stream. I'm going to do around about 2 or 3 hours, something like that. But we'll think about it. Oh, take care, Sheddy. Ta-ta for now. I do hope the puppy bath goes okay. Hope the puppy bath works out all right. Certainly a pleasure. Ta-ta for now, my lovely Sherry. Ta-ta for now. Usually doze. Right, for the final over 25 plus minutes, is there anything interesting one would like to share, or would anybody like to share your opinions on what? Would anyone like to share on what opinions one should have a petition towards regarding certain ill health or natural disaster and things? Because one of my strongest opinions, certainly as of now, is for there to be a petition signed for raising awareness towards thrombocythemia. You know. Oh, thank you, Deborah. Thank you. No, the loss of my late grandfather Edmund, it devastated me greatly. Well, it devastated the family, but it had the worst effect on my grandmother Anne, unfortunately. As you could well and truly imagine, my grandmother, she's actually still alive as of now, but she's very old now. My grandmother, well, she'll be 77 next year. So my grandmother is very old now. But my grandfather Edmund was only 73, so not very old. But if had you seen what he looked like before he died, um, had you seen what he looked like before he died, one could have thought he was older than that. I mean, it was that August. I can remember quite vividly now. It was that August where I just I just knew that he was not gonna survive many more years. And at this point, he'd lost a lot of weight to the point where he was only weighing 106 pounds at this point. And I remember I was going out with him on the steam railway, and we couldn't take the bus over because I mean, we couldn't take the bus over to the Wootton railway station because he couldn't have it wouldn't have done because he wasn't in a fit state to stand around waiting for the bus. So we had to opt to drive instead. So but seeing him even at the railway, though he was up for the railway and going to it, it's his physical health, the decline in his physical health was just very, very visible. I mean, I just could tell and knew that he was not going to survive many more years. And, he'd lost weight and he'd really aged visibly, and he couldn't do the long walks at this point. There was only so far he could walk. He could probably only walk about probably no further than 100, 150 yards, something like that at this point. And and obviously he'd visibly shrunk too, having already lost height, namely because of ill health and lacking strength. So it was very, very, how to describe it. It was a very, very difficult thing to contemplate, to seeing my grandfather in the state he was, because he was the only grandfather I knew when growing up, and he was always such a wonderful. He was always, he was just fantastic to my brother and I when growing up. Whenever we spent time with our grandparents, and but the doctor, but what was so shocking, initially very, very shocking, was his doctor who formally diagnosed him with thrombocythemia said he didn't have it terminally, but as it turns out, at the time of my grandfather's death, thrombocythemia was listed on his death certificate, and which meaning he did have it terminally, but the doctor didn't know, and and we only just found out. And but then another shocking thing: at the time of his death, he had over 1 million platelets too many, and we only just found this out after he died. You know. So it was very, very sad seeing my grandfather deteriorate after taking the medication for the thrombocythemia, which really did far too much harm to his health when he undertook the medication, just far too much harm to it. It was very, very hard thing to contemplate, seeing his health go completely downhill and see him deteriorate to the point that he did, you know. And all that. But could one imagine £106 on a nearly at the time a nearly 73-year-old man, £106. Short as he was, my wonderful late grandfather Edmund, short man as he was, £106, even at his height, is very, very at his height was very, very petite. Even when I told David about it, he was like, "That is light. That is light." Well, that's nothing really. £106. Even back in 2019, I was very petite then, but nothing as petite as £106. I was £130 back then, but now £154. He bought every car you owned at the junkyard. He's friends with the owner. Oh gosh, Deborah, that's an astonishing revelation. Well, it's a good thing your husband's friends with an owner of certain property. But gosh, every car you've owned was from the junkyard. Was your husband ever good at fixing up the cars he bought from his friend's junkyard? Was he ever very good at getting them fixed up and restored, or did he just leave it how it was when he bought them at the junkyard? Oh, that. Oh, Harriet. Oh, Harriet, thank you for your friendliness towards Anthony. Thank you. Thank you. No, it's a totally important issue what Anthony's been raising awareness of. Completely important issue. But Harriet, if I could, Harriet, I could just hug and squeeze you all day, any day. No, really, I could. I could just hug and squeeze you all day, any day. I love you, Harriet. I really do. I mean, who couldn't love you? Oh, gosh. Oh, no. Cheyenne has high platelets. She goes to the doctor every 6 months. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you. Oh, poor Cheyenne. Poor Cheyenne. So sorry hearing she has high platelets. Oh, that must worry you sick. That must worry you sick, Deborah, that your daughter has high platelets. This would quite likely indicate thrombocythemia. I mean, has she been formally diagnosed with with anything because it could well be thrombocythemia, because it can cause oneself to have double the number of platelets and also red blood cells. It can double the number what one needs. It can double the safe amount of platelets and red blood cells one needs in order to stay healthy and alive, or living a healthy life. But I'm so sorry about Cheyenne. So sorry about Cheyenne. Oh. If I could, I would just give her a nice long hug, if I could. A nice long hug out of empathized sympathy. And to contemplate to something like that must be very hard for poor Cheyenne. That must be very hard for her. I was only pulled up. Oh gosh, Harriet. Is it me, or is it because of my expressive face? I was just reading carefully. Maybe that's why my eyes looked a little droopy, because I was reading carefully to what Deborah had to say. Her poor daughter, Harriet. Deborah's poor daughter has high platelets, and you could only imagine just how worried sick our Deborah would be feeling for her poor daughter. I mean, if I was talking to Cheyenne about it, I would have given her a nice long hug in empathized sympathy. And I think obviously, Deborah's her mother. I think it's very likely possible that Cheyenne always gets lots of nice long hugs. Nice long hugs from her daughter. Harriet, I never said I was a doctor. I never said I was a doctor. Why on earth would I say I'm a doctor? I mean, did I do anything that could have indicated me being a doctor? I'm not an expert on thrombocythemia, but I do know quite a few bits and pieces about it because I know somebody who died from it. But just because I know a little bit of information, just because I only shared a little bit of information about a terrible health condition that can be very life-threatening, it doesn't mean that I'm a doctor. It does not mean that at all. Anyone can share any information about certain diseases. But I never once said that I was an expert on thrombocythemia. And never did I once say I was a doctor. I don't even have a medical license. So that was a bit cheeky what you said, Harriet, a little bit cheeky when you said that I'm not a doctor and I may frighten people. But did any of you find me frightening, if I may ask? Because Harriet was saying I may frighten people. I can be unnerving in what way? Oh no. Oh no. No, no, no. In what way could I be unnerving? My only intention is bringing people together and, overall, most vitally importantly, being good to people. I would never intend to be unnerving to anybody. Oh no, but if any of you have found me unnerving, my sincerest apologies. My sincerest apologies if I have committed an unnerving trait towards any one of you. No, but did anybody hear me say that I was a doctor? Because I'm not one. I'm clearly not one. I mean, I don't know where Harriet came under the impression that I was a doctor, because I'm clearly not one. And I would never say that I'm one, because I'm clearly not. I would never say something that I'm not. Oh, thank you, Harriet. Thank you. Oh, he is a mechanic, a plumber, a carpenter, a real estate agent, and a member of the Pipe Fitter Union 520, a jack of all trades. Is this your dearly loved husband? How interesting. How very, very interesting, and well done for all that he does, Deborah. Very well done. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh, sorry, Harriet. So sorry. Hello to Matt. Hello. Hello, Matt. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, I didn't mean to cause anybody anxiety. Oh no, McMeow. I was only trying to explain something because I know somebody who did have high platelets and, high platelets and blood cells. Why I was only explaining that something could be, I mean, I wasn't sharing any medical advice at all. But, but when Cheyenne said that her daughter has high platelets, I knew somebody who did have high platelets, having double the number that he needed, and hence his diagnosis and what it entailed, because I always found out. I was only just trying to give I was only trying to share something important. I wasn't trying to share anything in a doctor's way at all, not in the slightest. Oh, thank you, McMeow. Thank you. Thank you. No, but Deborah, if I did unnerve you inadvertently or caused worries to your lovely little girl, Cheyenne, I really, very, very greatly apologize for that. We take care of me. You fell asleep, oh Matt. Oh, thank you, McMeow. Thank you. Thank you. This is totally right, Harriet. Totally right indeed. Oh, but Harriet, has Alice gotten into bed with you yet? Has Alice gotten into bed to cuddle up with you right now? I mean, I would always cuddle up with you any time, you know, like how we would always I would always cuddle up with you on the settee. Well, actually, well, because you're small and petite, obviously I'd be the one who'd probably be much more ably to give you a nice cuddle on the sofa, and you'd be able to cuddle up to me. I think, or certainly anybody who's taller than and heavier than Harriet, they'd be able to cut. Harriet would be able to far more easily cuddle up to them better, and the taller and heavier ones could. I'm not trying to say this to be rude. I'm just trying to share a point. They'd be able to cuddle her well. This is not a StreamYard live. If it was a StreamYard live, I would invite a guest on, but I can't on this format. Every late night live is never done on StreamYard. Thank you, McMeow, thank you. And I'm happy to have found out about you too. No one to keep you awake now. You're on your way back. No, but speaking of inviting guests on live streams of mine, speaking of guests, I've never tried any Floridian baking products before McMeow. I've never tried any Floridian baking products, but you know, I would definitely give it a try. But speaking of guests, we were talking about guests earlier on. Um, I may consider lowering the age limit for guests to come on. But one thing I'm never, never, never gonna make sure never happens again is invite under 13s on. Under 13s will never, never, never be invited as a guests. I always invite guests every StreamYard live stream, but not on the late night ones. It's only the inspirational and Saturday live specials or certain naughty boy, naughty girl impromptus I invite guests on. But it depends on how long I'm going to do the live stream for, that is. But I may lower the age limit for inviting guests on board. But at the moment, I only invite anybody. I do not allow anybody under 16 to go on as a guest at the moment. But I may come 2025 consider inviting only over 13s to come on, because under 13, it really is, if you think about it, it is too young to the point where it could be actually, it is actually very, very risky, especially, an online world for under 16s. Well, under 13s particularly, it's most dangerous, if above and beyond anything. But no, I would make sure I would never, 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 I would never, never, never invite anybody under 13 in the future. And also another reason why, not only because it's highly risky, but because a lot of my subscribers and my following, because I had an under 13 on once, and it was really not at all well received. It was not in the slightest well received. It was my friend who's a fellow enthusiast like I, but on the railway side of things. He's not a classic car or bus or vintage vehicular or steam rally enthusiast. He's not an enthusiast in that field. He's just an enthusiast in, namely, the railway side of things. But I didn't realize he was that young. I didn't know until I invited him on board. And when they saw his face and saw him on the live and heard what he sounded like, everybody in the live stream really did not take at all well to it. And Harriet really didn't take well. She was like questioning Ben, young Ben, saying, "Where are your parents? Do they know you're on the live? Does your mother know you're on the live?" She was like, "Don't worry, it's fine, it's fine." And then there comes the response. And then the response came, and then she was like, "Don't you be cheeky to me, young Ben. I am not going to take well to this at all." It was literally a very, very strict, blunt response. I was like, "I'm sorry, young Ben, but I'm going to have to take you off the live, unfortunately." And you'd flip your lid too. Yes, you would. I know that. I know that you care only very, very greatly for one's safety, especially if young Ben were your school student. you would only care only all the more far too greatly for his safety. You'll be putting me to bed. Well, Harriet, since you're going to be putting me to bed, is that punishment for saying that I'm eventually going to lower the youngest age limit to invite guests on a live stream of mine? I'm happy learning Cheyenne will be fine. Oh, well, thank you, Deborah. No, I love you too, Deborah. I love you too. I mean, who couldn't love you, Deborah? We all love you dearly. I certainly do, particularly. My age limit is good where it is now. Okay, okay. Yes, my safety too. Thank you, Harriet. Thank you. Yeah, I know how to yawn, but I'm going to be finishing in a few short minutes because if I don't finish, because if I go on any longer than 2 hours 30 minutes, I'm going to get a telling off from Harriet. But yeah, only because she cares about me. But once we get to 2 hours and 30 minutes, it will be time to finish things off. Give it another 2 minutes, Harriet, and we're done. We're done. But obviously, if I went any longer than 2 hours 30, Harriet, obviously I'd get the telling off from you, wouldn't I? Yes, lovingly protective as you are, I do know that you can be quite strict about my health and safety, can't you? I know that only too well. It's always wonderful having our Matt on to check in, isn't it, Harriet? We had Matt and Tommy on, didn't we, on the Saturday Live special? And it was almost like a full-blown Q&A for them about organs. And that was fun. That was fun, certainly. Harriet, if I went on for 3 hours, you'd give me the telling off because you said finish it off at 2 hours and not much after 2 hours. That was what you did say to me, remember? And you did say do it in respect towards one's timing and things. Oh, it's certainly a pleasure, Matt. I'd have yourself and Tommy on any day. I'd have you both on again any day. Both of you are fun. You're both great fun to have as live stream guests. And you both have good podcast potential. Your knowledge on organs has good podcast potential, to tell you both of things. Right. Thanks, everybody, all for watching. We've gone to 2 hours 30, so it's time to finish things off now. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Jodie. No, I know that, Harriet. I do already know that. It can cause weight gain and weight loss. Thanks for watching. Goodbye, and may happiness be knocking on your doorstep.